SEO is completely different than what most personal brands are doing right now. If you're using traditional SEO methods, then you're already behind. If you want to dominate search everywhere your customers are looking, there is a specific 5-step framework that I'm going to be revealing in today's video that you absolutely have to do if you're serious about harnessing the power of SEO and search for your personal brand. And in today's video, I'm going to be revealing the specific omni-channel SEO approach that allows you to capture all traffic across all platforms. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Darren Peel, and the entire purpose of this channel is to help you build and scale your personal brand. Every single video on this channel is designed and crafted in a way to be an absolute masterclass on all things related to building and scaling your personal brand. On top of that, every single video I produce comes with free downloads. My personal goal is to make this channel more valuable than any course you can buy on personal branding. So if you're not already subscribed, please take a second to hit that subscribe button. So the reason I'm making this video today is because one of my clients recently asked me how the heck can they use SEO to build and scale their personal brand. And unfortunately, a lot of the information out there had old, outdated tactics. And what I realized was that SEO in 2025 and beyond has completely changed. But I knew if she was serious about winning on SEO, it would take a fundamentally different approach than what's been taught before. So in this video today, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what it takes to win with SEO for your personal brand. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to be revealing my own proven 5-step omnipresence framework that you can use to harness the power of SEO to grow and scale your personal brand. Let's get into it. So let's start with the reality check that most personal brands are struggling to accept. SEO as we knew it, or traditional SEO, is absolutely dead. Your customers aren't just searching on Google anymore. And here's the data that actually says everything has changed. Estimates of up to 60% of Google searches now don't even end with a click, which means people are actually getting their answers from the AI overviews and featured snippets. But that's just the beginning. Think about your own behavior when you're online searching for things. Very rarely do we just Google something and click on the first result. When we're looking for a place to eat tonight, or when I'm searching for something to eat tonight in Austin, Google is not my first choice. Yes, I might use Google, but I'll also look at places like Instagram. I'll maybe even check out Facebook posts or Facebook groups. Heck, I might even see a trending TikTok that outlines the best places to eat in Austin. And then I may pull up Google Maps and look through the reviews and look at Yelp to see the images of the food. So before I even make a decision on where the heck I want to eat, I'm looking at 3 or maybe even 5 different places to find exactly what I want. And that's exactly what most of your prospects and your customers are doing as well. The current landscape has completely rewired how people search, discover, and find things. So if you're not leveraging the strategies that I'm about to outline in this video, then you're already behind and losing customers. But here's what most personal brands miss. Each platform puts your audience's brain in a completely different state. TikTok is mostly entertainment-led. YouTube is where people like myself go for deep dives and deep research. LinkedIn is all about professional trust building. Your own website, or even places that people are going to shop, that's when they're in actual decision mode. And lastly, a weirdly popular one, Reddit, is where people go to see behind the scenes opinions and what people are actually talking about. And as a caveat, it is absolutely crazy to me to see how impactful Reddit has become. So long story short, if you're only optimizing for Google, you're missing over 70% of the places in which your customers and prospects are actively making decisions. Personal brands that understand this are building what I call a SEO omnipresence strategy, and they're absolutely crushing it. So now let me share with you the actual foundation that makes everything else work. And it's based on what Google calls EEAT. EEAT stands for experience, expertise, authority, and trust. Experience is what I like to call your secret weapon. This is what no AI tool can replicate. It's your actual lived experiences solving the problems that your audience faces. It's every client win. It's every failure or problem you've encountered, and every behind-the-scenes story that makes your content unbeatable. Expertise is your systematic knowledge. This is where you break down your methodologies, your frameworks, and your step-by-step processes for helping clients achieve the results that they're after. Authority is then your recognition in the space. or in your niche. This includes social proof, media mentions, and even speaking engagements. This is how other authorities reference and cite your work. And lastly, trust is the consistency of your messaging across different platforms. When someone encounters you on TikTok for the first time, and then goes to watch a YouTube video, and then goes over to your website, it should be the same person with the same core message. And the psychology behind this is powerful. People buy from those that they know, like, and trust. And in 2025, that trust is built across multiple platforms, not just Google. And I wanted to briefly mention, with every video I make downloadable resources that go along with the content of this video. So to go along with this video, I made an SEO playbook that dives deep into the actual tools, the scripts, and the technical know-how of making SEO campaigns that actually work to grow and scale your personal brand. In this download, I not only break down my favorite SEO tools that you can implement in your business today, but I'll also give you my exact SEO blueprint for making blogs on your own website so that you can rank high in Google and other LLMs. So make sure you click the link in the description or the pinned comment and download that now. Let's get back to it. So here's the exact 5-step omnipresent SEO framework that my clients are using to absolutely dominate search for their niche. So step 1, before we even make any content, we must map audience and platform intent. You must first understand the intent of your audience on each specific platform, and then create content specific for those platforms. So start by asking, where does my audience go when they need answers? Do some research on your competitors. Study what kind of content is actually working for your competitors and other people in your space. And I now recommend that you choose 3 to 4 platforms to go deep on. Traditional guidance would say find one platform and go all in. While yes, you can still focus on one primary platform, it is so easy and also necessary nowadays to repurpose your content across different platforms. And if you want to win in today's ecosystem, you absolutely have to be present across different platforms. This is also because a lot of search engines and LLMs, they're now pulling across different places. They're pulling across places like Wikipedia, Reddit, YouTube, especially YouTube, and across all major platforms. So if you want to show up in AI responses, these platforms are where you absolutely have to be present. Step number 2, and arguably the most important step for personal brands specifically, is what I like to call personal brand optimization. Or in other words, you have to get your story straight. So before you can compete for attention, you absolutely have to have one niche and one clear message. AI doesn't just look for specific keywords anymore. It now looks at the full entities, the context, and the relationships. Your business name, your description, your offers, and your content need to be consistent and identical across each of these platforms. This means intentionally crafting your messaging and your positioning. So the best way to do this is to identify 3 to 5 core content pillars. These are 3 to 5 themes that you want to dominate in the minds of your prospects. So you want to make sure while you're building these different profiles across platforms that not only are they linking to each other, but they also have consistent messaging and profiles across all of them. Step number 3 is what I call content ecosystem creation. Most businesses, they make the same lazy mistake of just blasting the exact same content across all platforms. And while that may have worked in the past, the play today is to be smarter about your content creation. So what I recommend today is to start with a pillar piece of long form content. That can be a podcast or a video or even an in-depth blog. And in my research, AI platforms are now citing videos more and more every month, growing from 7% to 12% in just a few quarters. From that pillar piece of content, slice and adapt it for each specific platform. And that's exactly what I'm doing with this video. It's my core piece of content that I'm also repurposing for a blog. And once I'm done filming this, I have a handful of shorts scripted out rather than just clipping up this video itself. And then from that, I'm going to analyze the key phrases that I use and make those into tweets. And of course, the icing on the cake, I like to make carousels for Instagram as well as for LinkedIn to make more digestible and shareable and savable posts. And this isn't just something I'm making up. This is very similar to Gary Vee's content repurposing structure. But the key here is that each piece of content is designed specifically to feel native for that platform. So while it may be the same content and message, how it's structured for each specific platform is slightly different. And step number 4 is the technical foundation. So we won't go too deep on this in the video today, but that's things like the technical foundation of your website, the SEO tools you're using, and how you actually structure your content. So if you want more information on how to actually structure your content, specifically for things like your blogs or even your YouTube video, make sure you download that freebie that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. It'll be linked in the description or in the pinned comment below. And then lastly, my personal favorite is to test, track, and optimize. When you're growing and scaling your personal brand, you absolutely have to know your numbers. So in short, use platform insights to see which content is getting the most engagement and the best performing pieces of all the content that you published. So set aside time every month to test, track, and optimize your content creation efforts. Because I can tell you from experience, the personal brands that are winning, they aren't just setting this up once. They're consistently adapting and modifying their plan based on what is working specifically for them. All right, so before I get to the last step, I wanted to quickly mention one thing. If you're listening to this and thinking, this all makes sense, but I don't have time to personally execute this myself. And I get it, because that's exactly what my agency does for clients. We build strategies for some of the biggest personal brands in the industry who want to show up on search. We help these personal brands grow and scale online by building an omnipresent SEO approach. So instead of playing catch up, you could be one of the personal brands leading this shift. So click on the link in the description or go to extraordinarybrands.io and book a free consultation with me or a member of my team. We'll show you exactly how to harness the power of SEO to grow your brand. But if you're not ready to work with me or my team, let me show you exactly the strategies we're using to grow and scale brands. This strategy is what I like to call the authority domination method. This is our signature approach that ties everything together. This is not traditional SEO. This is strategic content omnipresence that's designed to position you as the undisputed authority in your industry. While everyone else is just chasing specific keywords, you're going to be dominating entire content areas through what I call the content cluster system. So here's how it works. As mentioned before, you're going to pick 3 to 5 pillars of content. These are the main topics that you want to dominate. For a business coach, it could be things like scaling systems, team building, revenue optimization, or even things like client acquisition. Each pillar becomes your content hub. Then around each pillar, you create clusters of 8 to 12 individual pieces of content. This content specifically targets what we call long tail keywords. So for example, under the pillar of scaling systems, you might have a cluster like how to scale a coaching business without burnout, or something like delegation frameworks for entrepreneurs, systems that 7-figure businesses use, and scaling mistakes that kill growth. Each one of these is a long tail keyword phrase that people might be typing in to these large language models. So that pillar piece of content may be something like the ultimate guide to business scaling systems. Each cluster of content links back and reinforces that pillar piece of content. And the magic happens when these pieces connect together. Every cluster links back to your pillar 2 to 3 times. It links to other related cluster posts. More specifically, it targets one specific keyword or long tail phrase per post. But here's the non-negotiable. Every piece of content must be actionable. And make sure you include real examples and also link back to your relevant services. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of having this content and these blog posts rank if it's not actually driving revenue and action inside of your business? So what you end up building is something of a content web around each pillar. So when anyone searches something related to scaling systems, they don't just discover a one-off article. They discover your entire web of content that's all interconnected and points to you being the expert. So when people and large language models alike see that you've thought so deeply about every angle and different position of this topic, they see you as the expert. And that's what I call authority domination. All right, and there you have it, the complete playbook on using Omnipresence SEO to grow and scale your personal brand. Remember, winning today is no longer about just chasing Google search results. It's about showing up everywhere your customers are searching, building omnipresence, and becoming the obvious choice through the EEAT Framework. And let me quickly recap our 5-step system: mapping platform intent, personal brand optimization, content ecosystem creation, technical foundation, and continuous optimization. This will position you as the go-to expert across all platforms. And as a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you take a second to download that free guide that goes along with this video. And if you're serious about growing and scaling your personal brand, make sure you check out this video next. Check it out.